The price for these SSD hard drives have come down significantly over the last couple of years. As a result, it is now affordable and worth every dollar to replace the old 5400 RPM hard drives in our 2011 12th MacBook Pros that my kids have been using. The whole process, outside of cloning the drive, takes less than 15 minutes to complete if you follow the instructions. There are only 9 Phillips head screws on the bottom panel of the laptop that need to be removed, a couple more that hold the drive in place, and then the 4 Torx posts that are on the drive. In regards to performance, the new Samsung drive has completely eliminated the spinning beach ball mic key. Likewise, instead of having to wait 3 minutes for the laptop to boot up, it takes less than a minute now. Opening applications is extremely quick, as well. There are extensive instructions out on the web that provide a step-by-step guide to completing the upgrade. For starters, you are going to need a USB 3.0 to 2.5 SATA 3 hard drive adapter cable to clone your existing drive. AMZ has a great one for about $11, StarTech.com USB 3.0 to 2.5 SATA 3 hard drive adapter cable with USB SATA to USB 3.0 converter for SSD/HDD hard drive adapter cable. The cloning takes a long time to complete, but once done, you can just drop the newly cloned Samsung SSD into your MacBook and it will boot up just like the old HD. Overall, I'm very impressed with the Samsung drive. The SSD is quite easy to install, assuming you have a mounting bracket, a SATA cable, and mounting screws. It was a pretty fast install, assuming you know what you're doing, but videos and other guides online are quite helpful. In my case, my computer came with a mounting bracket, but no screws to go with it. I had to get those screws myself. It also did not come with an extra SATA cable, so I also had to get that as well. This is not the fault of the drive, but just know that not all computers come with anything to help you mount your drive. The Magician software was also quite useful. Turning on rapid mode surprisingly makes the drive quite faster, and it also includes things like a performance benchmark and your SSD's temperature, so that's good. However, it does not move over your ROS, or move a drive over to your SSD. You'll have to get Samsung's data migration software. Overall, this drive is a 5/5. It works and it works well. I moved over my OS files from my old SSD to my new one, and the boot time went down from 2 to 3 minutes to only a few seconds. If you already have an SSD, it's not worth the upgrade, but if you have an HDD or an SSD that's running out of space, this is a good upgrade. I've included a screenshot of the Magician software, and a performance benchmark I ran right after turning on rapid mode. On the left is read and write speeds. Note for people upgrading with SATA and SATA 3 ports. Samsung Magician no longer supports Micron, IC10R and especially Marvel 88 SA9128 SATA 3 ports. There will be no way to monitor your drive status with the Samsung software. So far, so good. You will have to download and configure the Samsung Magician software to set rapid mode, because that makes about a 5x improvement in speed. Without the Magician, you'll be in this slow lane. My initial crystal disk mark speeds before using Magician on this drive were extremely disappointing. Be aware that the Magician Rapid Mode speed optimization only affects one drive, so your old Samsung SSD is going to slow down quite a bit when you change the Rapid Mode target. Had a 2015 iMac with a HDD, and had to upgrade it ASAP because computer was just sitting there not being used. I bought a hard drive enclosure and used this 500GB Samsung SSD inside it and used the USB port on my iMac to use it as a boot drive. I did not have to open up the computer via the screen and risk damaging something. Glad I upgraded the HDD to this Samsung. Heard nothing but good things about Samsung SSDs. Update: I have bought a second 860 EVO as my external drive and I'm not disappointed. I originally bought the cheaper QVO, but that was so slow so I ended up returning it and got this instead. What a great drive for the price. I always use SSD drives for my OS and programs. My old one topped out around 400 read/write and was only 120 GB. After nearing capacity I opted for this drive. Auto-confirmed read/write speeds are exactly as advertised and a noticeable improvement over my old SSD. Until I go with M2, this will be my go-to drive for any build. Note: these things fly on the Intel chipset. I tried it on my AS-Media SATA 3 controller and it only reached low/mid 400s. So if you have trouble with speed, try a different SATA port. Nowadays mobile manufacturers have their own storage controllers that seemingly can't keep up with Intel storage controllers. Amazon shipped me 4 X970 EVO 500GB M.2 NVMe drives instead of 4 X860 EVO 4TB drives. Amazon was helpful once I got past the first level support person who could understand me. The problem then was the return shipping label needed me to pay for shipping back. Called them back, and asked for them to send me another label that would have shipping prepaid, and they did so quickly. I was turned off by ordering $2,800 of hard drives, only to receive about $600 of something else. I don't know if I would order things like this from Amazon again. The drives installed easily, and formatted quickly in my Knapp. Speeds are perfect for my use. I have many Samsung SSDs, and they are all awesome. I bought this to store and run everything from my iTunes library to editing my photos and videos. Since this is an external drive, I wanted to encrypt it, but I did not know what that would do for performance. Click link in description for more reviews.